So, without further ado, I'd like to have our two guests introduce themselves to you. Pull your mic close to you. They move, speak into the mic. Tell us who you are and what y'all do, the creative thing that y'all do that I've never seen before.
Awesome. Well, first I'll go. My name is Jeff Broom, President and CEO of the Business Kings and the Trucking Crew.
Okay.
And to my left.
My name is Quincy Luzinares. I'm President and CEO of Credit Concepts and Raise the Credit, well, credit improvement firm.
Okay, and before we get started, we have to give you an official People Before Politics welcome.
All right. We'll take that.
Now, y'all actually have a mobile. Now, I've seen this done with like healthcare. You know, people come by and they come take your blood pressure and do all that kind of stuff, and they reach a bunch of people that don't have health benefits that, you know, don't know in the hood, especially in the hood, you know.
Sure.
But y'all do a similar thing, but as far as credit is concerned. And I said this to one of y'all, both of y'all on the phone, and I've said it several times on the radio. We don't teach our kids about credit enough in our communities. And I'm speaking personally, and I've said this several times. I didn't know what credit was till I ain't have it no more. That's when I found out what credit was and how important it was. It was already gone. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I wish that I had more. That we have Brother Rashad Bilal come on. He tries to come on monthly to give you all financial tips and credit, and I want these brothers to explain what they do and why they do it.
I'm gonna talk about the mission, then I'm gonna let Quincy talk about the nuance of how we get it done.
Okay.
You know, we're both from the inner city, you know, Bronx, Brooklyn, and like you said, there's a lot of things that we were behind the eight ball because our parents didn't teach us how to compete financially. You know, we teach our kids about sports, do a great job sometimes taking them to the church, things of that nature, teach them how to dress. But when it comes down to competing financially, sometimes we fall a little short. So coming from an underserved community, understanding what it is to own in New York City or to be in New York City where the price of living is extremely high, we understand that, you know, credit was a barrier to entry. And very simply, we believe you have to fund your dreams. And credit is that gateway to your dream car, your dream house, you know, your dream education at times.
You can't do nothing without credit. You know, there's jobs that run your credit report now.
100%.
Before you get the job, like, you know, you might not get a job,
exactly,
a good paying job in some fields because your credit sucks.
So we find that, you know, because we don't have that education, it's not taught in school. One would think that it would be, right? But it's not. So all of a sudden we become disenfranchised and we become way behind the eight ball, and we see other ethnicities prosper and move ahead in our neighborhoods, businesses, real estate, because they understand the money game and they understand how to leverage the bank and the capitalist system that we live in. So that's just part of our mission, and it's changing. You know, everybody can have good credit. We have the money. We just like to spend it on things, you know, expensive pocketbooks, sneakers, things of that nature, where we should be reinvesting in ourselves financially. So Quincy came up with a phenomenal concept because sometimes, you know, you got to, I guess, bring it to the people, because the people might not come out. So I'm going to let him expound upon what he was able to do with that.
Well, we, you know, being in the credit industry for over 15, 20 years combined, we knew that presence was very important when it comes to this credit game. And we opened up a credit education center on 1175 Castle Hill Avenue in the Bronx. So for the past 2 years, seeing the reception that the community has gave in the center, finally being able to have that accessible access point where they can come in, understand how to read a report, understand what's on their credit, we've seen that collectively, if we can come together and not only put these education components in our urban communities, imagine what we can do if it was accessible in other places simultaneously. So that's where the vision of kind of going mobile came. We want to be able to partner up with organizations, you know, events, nonprofits, large gatherings, and just bring that education component directly to them. Infused with technology and accessibility just makes a perfect marriage.
And the reason we had you on this week, because we concentrate mostly on the candidates for the primary. You know, as we said, you know, let's try to get as many of the candidates in before the primary. And y'all are going to be in Mount Vernon next week at the Rappacon event, which a lot of people you will reach a lot of people who won't come to you, That
Especially down on Castle Hill Avenue.
But I'm saying, period, though. No matter where you are, wherever you are, they're not coming to you. You'll reach a lot of people where they are, and they will be out there because there will be good music and DJs and all that stuff, and some food maybe, and we show up for those things. You know what I'm saying?
All day.
Yeah. So coming to that, I think, is a powerful move.
Yeah. So we, thanks to shout out to Councilman Andre Wallace.
Yes.
And my brother Curtis Sherrod.
Yes.
Who puts from On Point Radio. I'm also On Point Radio.
Shout to Yaz.
Shout to Yaz Hurston.
Yes.
Indeed.
Who writes the Single Mom Chronicle in Black Westchester.
Single Mom Chronicle. Shout out to Yaz, powerful woman. And so Kurt gave me an invitation to say, listen, Kurt's about hip hop and rap.
Yes.
So he said, Jeff, I have an opportunity for you to do some panel discussions. So, love rap. I'm from inner city, Brooklyn, projects. I get it. But I'm also a house head, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little panel on house music. But more importantly, the segment that me and Q are really excited about is about owning a house. It's about home ownership. So we know that credit is extremely important for that. So we have Quincy Luzinaris. I've got my friend Andre Horn, who's a real estate professional. Jason Cledenden. He's going to be doing affordable housing because everybody can't afford a home in New York City. You've got some
Absolutely.
Moji folks as well.
Affordable housing is not affordable. I don't even know why they call it that.
I'm trying to tell you. So there's some nuances, man. So that's going to be at I just want to throw out the address for those who don't know. It's going to be at 28 East 1st Street. Our presentation starts promptly at about 12:15. And anybody who's looking for home ownership, investment property, find out what they qualify for. And I'll let Q talk about what we're going to do for free for people that come in for their credit. But we're really passionate about it because, we can wear T-shirts, we can march, we can do a lot of different things. But if we don't own pieces of our neighborhood, own our blocks, we know a lot of gentrification taking place and we're getting kind of squeezed out. So we need to aware about ownership, owning the businesses, owning the real estate in our neighborhoods. And I know that Q, he put something together, especially for people who came out to that event, what he was going to do for them.
Well, ownership is highly important, but also awareness is. You
Absolutely.
don't know how to purchase a home if you don't even know where you stand. So we
Right.
want to come out. We want to offer not only free credit consultations, but we want to make sure that they don't go a day without knowing where their credit stands. So we're giving them a 1 year of credit protection,
Wow.
1 year of credit monitoring.
I might take you up on that.
Identity theft is huge. There's $106 billion a year is being stolen through identity theft. So we want to make sure everybody's credit protected. So everybody will be getting a 1 year of free credit monitoring, credit education, and a $1 million identity theft insurance policy.
Wow.
With
Wow.
other fraud alerts and other protection features. But we think that's highly effective.
Absolutely. I often joke my credit's so jacked up. The best thing somebody could do for me is steal my credit. maybe pay for some stuff and give my numbers up a little bit. No, but that's not an invitation to take my credit. I'm just saying though. But ownership.
AJ, we feel that I'm not to cut you off, man, but then let you ownership. But and make that point. We just feel like when you graduate from high school, outside of your SAT score, your credit scores are the most important numbers that you should be aware of as an adult. So I'm sorry.
And most people can't tell you what the credit score is.
Absolutely not. If they do, they tell you one. There's 3 bureaus.
Right?
So you should know them like you know your weight and like you know your blood pressure. If you know those things.
Some people don't know those
They
things
don't know those either. Got to get up on it.
Thank the doctor made me have to know those things. So I know mine, but it wasn't by choice. So I got to monitor mine. But ownership and that's one of the reasons we started Black Westchester and People Before Politics, because as a whole, the mainstream media basically does not care about us. They do not cover us. They're not here to educate us. And every other community, Chinese, the Jewish, Hispanic, every Irish, they have their personal papers and publications that speak to them, that promote what they do, that change the narrative. We're not all thugs and sagging pants wearing, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Felons, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that and the only thing we get celebrated for is sports and entertainment. And even then they build us up to tear us down.
How about that?
Michael Jackson. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was the favorite, and then he started breaking Beatles and Elvis sales records. He became Wacko Jacko and all these other things. You know what I'm saying? But he was beloved before that, though. You know what I'm saying? So, and the other thing, as far as money is concerned, politics. we want these politicians to do what's in our best interest.
Absolutely.
But other groups of people are spending big money to help them get in office. And a lot of times we don't have that kind of money to spend. We don't understand political blocks and, using our money in that way. You know what I'm saying? To help get someone who deserves to be in office. Money plays a role there too. So
100%.
Money is important for everything we do.
Money's important.
Can't live without it. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't be the only thing you think about, but you can't live without it though.
Cash is king, but
Cash is king. Yeah,
but credit is queen.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sorry.
No, and you can't take it with you, and that's why it's important to start thinking
Right.
about the next generation. Your legacy. Right
Right.
now we're leaving debt. We're leaving. We want to be able to pass certain things along to our children, and we believe that credit is that door, that gateway that can open up opportunities. So we just here to educate them, make sure they know what opportunities they have. The information is here to learn. You just got to be willing to accept it.
Now, I know y'all don't have I don't have a lot of time, but for those who are hearing this and be like, man, I like the way this sounds. I need to know more information. How can they reach you on social media? Is there a website? How do they contact you
Well,
to learn more about credit? To get
Again, the parent company is Credit Concepts, and that's credit with 2 Ks. So you can find us on all social media handles, KREDIT, KONCEPTS, and our mobile unit is raisethecredit.com. We feel we're on a mission to raise the credit and raise the community. So if you're having an event, if you're, looking to kind of bring our mobile unit out, you can go online, tell us about the event that you're having, and we'll be glad to see how we can partner up and bring that education directly to you.
Okay.
And secondly, I think the best way to, if you have an organization, the best way to empower your people is empower them financially, right?
Right.
Capital and the ability to move money. So my company, is also the Business Kings. So we do personal funding, corporate funding for small and medium-sized businesses, access to capital. Every business needs to move forward. So we help them build out the business credit side of it as well, and access to capital. And then online, you can go in about a week or two. You go to thebusinesskings.com, and then you can get one of these T-shirts, which is it says "Impress your banker, not your boys."
Yeah, I definitely, when I saw you walk in, I was like, I got to have one of those.
Yeah, we need to have
I'm definitely feeling it.
We're
Yeah.
impressing the wrong people out there sometimes, and social media certainly doesn't help because everything looks good, but your banker wants to know what's in your account, what your 401 is like, stuff like that.
Yeah. So again, where will you be? What date? What's the address?
Awesome, man. So it's going to be this Saturday. It's going to be awesome, man. Hopefully you guys will come out. Anybody can hear my voice. This Saturday, September 8th, 2018. The whole event starts from 12 to 6. Hang out all day with us. The panel discussion for real estate starts at 12:30. There'll be panels throughout the whole entire day. That's going to be at 28 East 1st Street in Mount Vernon. And the price is absolutely the best. It's free.
$3.99.
So
Yep,
you
it's
have
the best.
no
Beat that.
choice. The credit evaluation is free. We know how our people are. We like free things.
Yeah.
So by all means.
No doubt. I will definitely be in the house. I've been on the panel for the last 2. I was actually in the documentary. They put part of the panel I was on in that documentary that Yaz edited or produced or
Yes,
whatever.
yes, right.
Yeah. So I'm waiting to see what where's that going to be seen? I've been wanting to know where that's going to be.
That's a
People
great
keep
question.
asking me, when can I see it? Where can I see it? Because I did the little bootleg thing. I videotaped my scene and with my camera
Your
and posted it. Yeah, posted just my scene, not the
Just
whole
your scene,
thing,
right?
just my scene, and posted it on my Facebook. Dr. Bob, I see that you have a question. You got a question?
Yeah, just a quick question, guys. So I know that your program on Saturday, is going to focus on financial literacy, I guess. But
Yes.
but beyond the basics of financial literacy, what kind of additional services do you provide to people who are looking to enhance their credit standing, maybe to carry out some bigger projects?
Great
Well,
question.
we take a 3-step approach because it's not just about credit recovery; it's other components. So number one is credit building. Some people have credit issues but don't have any credit, and having no credit is just like having bad credit. So we make sure we give guaranteed approvals for certain things to start the rebuilding process. In addition, debt settlement. Not everything can be resolved with credit repair and credit recovery. Sometimes we got to buckle down and we got to pay who you owe. But we make sure that we pay the reduced amounts, minus the interest, minus the fees, sometimes 60 to 80% reductions. If you're going to pay, that's what you pay. And then you make sure when you pay, it's removed from the report after you pay. And then finally, those protection plans, because you don't want to invest in improving your credit and your finances and then leave it out to open for identity thieves. So we make sure that, once you start, your credit is protected. So those 3 additional services, from repairing to protecting to building, and then my partner will expand on the business.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we believe it's about business. So, we want to be in a position where, we had to put out resumes. And I went to school in Sheepshead Bay. Most of my classmates were Caucasian. I've known people that never had a resume because their uncle gave them a job, their aunt gave them a job. They owned the businesses. You look at a certain ethnicities, you grow up, they're going to give you a job in that 7-Eleven or that Dunkin' Donuts or that mobile gas station, whatever it is, because their parents and family owned the businesses. So we have to own that. So we're not necessarily fishing out and putting resumes and hoping that somebody gives our son or daughter a job when we can keep that money in the family. So, the Business Kings is set up to help individuals with business plans to build out business credit. A lot of people have EIN numbers. That's a 9-digit number, as powerful as a social security number, but most people fail to realize how powerful that is, and that's how corporations move. So, we become well adept at helping people build out business credit, access a whole nother line of capital, corporate funding, so we could just, continue to move to the next level. So that small business becomes a medium-sized business, and that medium-sized business becomes a large corporation.
Now that I would, on top of my personal, that I really, being a small business, that's what we need.
Oh,
That's
95% of business owners do not build out their business credit. That's a powerful statistic.
Right. Because like you said, we got that 9-digit number. You know what I'm saying? We got
Gotta
that.
build it out.
Gotta build it out.
Yeah.
I wanted to say to all our listeners that who may be skeptical about the benefits of drawing on the services that Credit Concepts offers, that, I used to work for a mortgage banker in a previous life, and I had to help do some of the credit repair. And it did make a difference when people who were on the margin and, couldn't quite qualify initially,
Sure.
had someone come in and help review their credit standing and offer some repair services, pay out some of those outstanding debts at a reduced rate. It really did make a difference. And I can tell you that, as the brother suggested, if you have an experienced, seasoned credit repair person on your side guiding you through the process, you may find that a lot of those debts can be reduced to a more manageable load.
Exactly.
So a couple of quick comments. Marvin Church, black developer from Mount Vernon, he says, I love the subject.
Awesome.
Andre Wallace joined us. Fire Union President, Yonkers Fire Union President Barry McGooey joined us. Westchester County Democratic Chairman and Board of Election Commissioner Reggie Lafayette has joined the conversation. Rodney Norman, a friend of mine from Long Island, has joined the conversation. Andre said, what's up, everybody?
Andre.
And Atif was talking about money, he said he wanted to do a fundraiser for Jamani Williams, who's running for lieutenant governor, but couldn't find a house and couldn't find someone who had money, with friends who had money that were willing to donate.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to do it. And, we need to do more of that for the candidates we would like to, help get in.
Sure.
But he didn't know how to go about it and didn't have the people that he could reach out to. Most of the people he had didn't have the kind of money that they needed to donate. So he wanted to bring that point up too. So that's anything I didn't ask you that you want everybody to know.
We just have to compete financially, and I think that we have the resources, we have the money to do it. We just, as a people, sometimes, and speaking from black and brown people, we just move our money around in ways that
You support everybody else.
it's just not intelligent. And good credit is not something that's far-reaching. It's in everyone's grasp. It's just about what's your priority, where you want to go, and what you really want to do, right? So we're in the approval business because declines don't really get you anywhere. So, it's all about empowering. That's why I raise the credit. We believe if you raise the credit scores in your community, you will raise the community because they will have access to things with low interest loans on cars and everything
that's
else.
important too. You can get a
Huge.
loan, but your credit is bad. That interest rate might be 29% or something, like something crazy, like something ridiculous.
Eat you up.
Yeah.
Interest
And very often, lenders are taking advantage of the lack of knowledge, especially
Absolutely.
of people in black and brown communities, especially when it comes to seeking credit for the purchase of homes.
Absolutely.
Very frequently, African Americans and Latinos who will otherwise qualify for prime credit rates find themselves being offered and accepting subprime credit loans, and it's really brothers who have expert knowledge like Jeff and Quincy, who can help us make wise choices and guide us through the credit offers that we have. And so I think that's an indispensable type of knowledge that we really need to take advantage of if we want to see increases in rates of home ownership in places like Mount Vernon.
Stephen Lewis from the legendary Atlantic Star said, "Thank you, brothers, for bringing this lifeblood to the community."
It's a pleasure.
And shout out to Floyd Myers, big brother of Heavy D. He's listening right now. So
So Floyd,
yeah. So I'm going to get into my next guest, but before I let y'all go, this is too important of an issue to be squeezed into 10, 15 minutes. And I do want to invite y'all, once we get past the primary and once we get past the election and not dealing with candidates and stuff, to come and spend much more time, whether we do a whole show on it or at least an hour, and y'all can, give more information and educate people a little bit on the show a little bit. I definitely want to do that. And if you ever have something that you want to share in the newspaper for credit, definitely I welcome the contribution to the community, to educate our readers. Whatever y'all would like to share or something like that. So
Absolutely.
I definitely thank y'all for coming, and I definitely welcome y'all back. And I hope we can continue this conversation, on a future show, so we can really educate people.
Well, we strongly encourage everyone to, and I'll let Q, and thank you, Brother AJ. I know this was
Thank
spur of
you
the
for
moment.
having
man,
us. Yeah,
because
yeah.
We're doing this. We strongly, as we wrap up, strongly encourage everyone to come out, to get their credit pulled, get it fixed, read it. And if you're a parent and you have children, you have a responsibility to make sure they understand what credit is and those trade lines and how to affect what affects it, good, bad, or indifferent. So
We're not taking calls just yet, and since Mike calling in, one question I have that I know people don't know. So you have to be careful about having all these different companies run your credits, because don't your score to go down a little bit after you run your credit or something? Can you explain that? Like the important? Can you explain?
When lenders, and that's one of the biggest misconceptions. People think when they check their own credit that or it damages it in some way. But whenever you check your own credit through a credit monitoring site or through a personal pull, it doesn't do any damage. However, when a lender checks it for permissible purposes for lending, then that's when you could potentially lose up to 2 to 3 points per inquiry. So you definitely want to be proactive. Know what your credit score is prior to applying, because by law they have to tell you what that credit score criteria is for whatever you're applying for. And if you know that your credit score isn't that level, don't waste your time applying. As a people, sometimes we like to see where we stand by, let me check and see if I can get approved. That's not the way to do it. Check first. If you're not in a credit position, don't waste your time, because you're doing yourself damage.
And also, if you get turned down for credit, you have the right to get that report, right? Is that how it go? Can you get that report if you apply for credit for something and you get turned down?
Yeah, they will send you a reason of denial.
But if they don't, you still can request your credit. You can request that.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people just get turned down and they don't know why they got turned down, and they never see what their credit is.
Well, most know why. They know they hit.
Well, they still don't see it though. I mean, you don't know what it is.
Sure. Exactly.
We actually have Councilman Andre Wallace, who just joined the conversation. Andre, are you there? Andre, are you still there? Oh, I think we lost him. Okay. Well, he had called in, so shout out to Councilman Andre Wallace.
and sometimes they'll give you the report, but they won't give you the number, right? So they'll give you a free report, but there's no number to go along with it. So sometimes, you need both, really, to really understand what's on there.
And those numbers cost. Don't be. There's a lot of monitoring sites that may provide what they think your score is, especially if it's free. But just remember, these bureaus are billion-dollar industries. They make money off of your credit score, so it will cost, even if it's just $1. But you have to pay for accurate credit scores.
Councilman Andre Wallace, is that you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Welcome to the show.
welcome to the show, Councilman.
I just want to say,
going
before you
on,
get
fellas?
started, I want to congratulate you and thank you for bringing Rapicon back to Mount Vernon. I've been to all of the previous ones. It has always been an incredible event. It's always been like a family affair, and it also, for us old heads, it's how we used to get down in the park and in those situations. And the one thing that it has done in the last few, no matter what side people on politically and who they were supporting, they all came. and they all had a good time that one day.
Right.
And then, the bickering started the next day or whatever. But for that day, it's been peaceful. And I just want to thank you for bringing that to Mount Vernon, because Mount Vernon desperately needs more stuff like that. But I know you have a comment, a question real quick before the guys go.
Well, just with the Rapicon too, just wanted to mention this is an element of the way me and Curtis planned it over the 5 year of Rapicon, and the reason for the Rapicon DJ Con is to bring everybody together and to get the younger people out, and you have to give them something to listen to or to gravitate to, and this was the base to do it. So now we're starting with these young brothers who are coming in and others who are coming in who's going to help and educate the community, because what we want to focus on is uplifting everybody financially. A lot of times we sit back and we say, hey, we need to build affordable housing and we need to build low-income housing. No, we need to raise those people and everybody else's pockets and dollars and jobs so that they can afford to live into any place they want to. And this is a good example because I want everybody to come out for Rapicon, come over, see these brothers, get on the bus, and you know what I'm saying? You don't even need money to get on this bus. Just get on the bus and get yourself correct, So this is going to be something that I'm encouraging everybody to come out to. I'm encouraging everybody to try to register and get in to sit at the panels and see them. And you know how the panels are, AJ. Usually they get real crowded and it's standing room only. And, before you know it, you can't get inside there. So, try to get in early, try to register, try to come up and make sure that y'all get in so you can hear these young brothers because they got a lot to say, they got a lot to offer our community, and this is a definite step in the right direction for what we want to do. I've been doing this for a long time. We're trying to get people jobs and working on that and training and stuff, but this is another element that Curtis and these gentlemen and I have put together to even move it, forward even more. So I'm just giving Rapicon, DJ Con a shout out, and our young brothers there, and everybody else, and hopefully everybody come out and have a good time next week.
Absolutely. And we'd like to thank our guests for coming, and like I said, we definitely gonna have y'all back on.
Indeed. Look
No
forward
doubt.
to it, man.
No, and I'll see y'all Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bob, thank you.
All right, brothers, y'all have a good one. Yeah, I'll see you all Saturday as well.
Yes. We need to get our credit. When you talk about repairing, we talk about moving a community forward, and you talk about building a community. Yes. When we talk about building a community, we very rarely have that conversation. Empowering the people, getting their credit up is another way of empowering the community. So, people with a healthy credit records, make a healthier community. So I want to applaud these cats for what they're doing. The mobile thing is definitely, I've never seen it before. I like that idea.